Definitely.
He's been in some very hard fights.
This contest is scheduled for 6 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner to my left. He's wearing red trunks with white trim. His record impressive. 13 wins, 13 defeats, 1 draw, 4 big wins by way of KO. He comes to us all the way from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Ladies and gentlemen, Pablo Oliveto, Ernesto. And his opponent, sitting directly across the ring, fighting out of the red corner to my right. Wearing red trunks with white trim. His record, impressive. 10 wins, 4 defeats, 5 big wins by way of KO. They call him the Fighting Pride of Chelmsford, Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen,
The loudest this place has got, I think.
Yes. Several main events, Kyle, as you know, Brandon Higgins has had for Boston Boxing Promotions. He was in a war with one of your close friends and sparring partners, Dustin Reinhold.
Yep.
Not once, but twice. The rematch taking place here, which was the last appearance of Boston Boxing at Melrose Memorial
That was the
Hall.
main event that night.
Yeah. I think we're going to see some fireworks from Mr. Higgins tonight. He's been in some long, tough, drawn-out 8-10 round wars. I could see him winning an early night. Yeah. Make a statement, let people know he still has that pop that he was well known for when he first started his career.
And that's what I was going to say. He might not have the pop of a James Perkins, who's a huge man, but he's every bit as aggressive when he's in there.
And his first punch of the fight looked like an overhand right, so he's looking to bang. And if you haven't seen Higgins before, great work rate.
And great conditioning.
Oh, the conditioning's tremendous. Yeah, he has been in 10-round fights. A lot of guys at the regional level can't say they've done that, and he has. But he throws a lot of punches in bunches, and if he gets you on those ropes, he's going to throw 4, 5, 6 shots.
And he loves the body work.
Yeah, he's throwing big, looking for that overhand right out of the gate, which leads you to believe he's would love to stop this show early. Oh, again.
Yeah.
He's missing pretty wide with it, but he must see something
that
that's making him.
Bit.
And Pablo looks a little soft to the body. I think we can acknowledge that, and I think it would do a lot of good for Higgins to maintain that work rate downstairs.
Yeah.
He still seems to just want to come in with some. There we go. Looks like he wants to come in with a big shot and just kind of get the party started. He's not really jabbing his way in. Oh, there's the shot he was looking for. Just didn't turn it too much. That's been one of the critiques of Brandon Higgins, is that as fast as he is and as strong as he is, he doesn't necessarily turn into his punches. He can be a little slappy with those hooks.
On the amateur scene, they'd say they're not scoring blows. They're not, the white of the glove. Hear that all the time with the kids in the amateur tournaments. They're slaps.
White of the gloves, huh? You Massachusetts guys just can't get over that whole Revolutionary War everything. White of the gloves, white of the eyes. I actually may take a field trip. I have a late flight tomorrow. Kyle, I may go see Lexington Concord. I've never been there. It's probably a very cold time to go see it.
But still.
Field trip of choice for thousands
of
them. Higgins takes a step back.
Well, he's not getting much in the way of offense.
Yeah. Pablo,
it's pretty clear he's going to bring the fight to Pablo.
Pablo looks like he is looking to survive right out of the gate. A nice little, and just as we say that, our first offensive bout from Pablo. I could see potentially Higgins having some trouble. Not in a bad trouble, just with the awkward.
Yeah. Save it for the end.
Yeah. Bit of a sloppy first round for Higgins, but he's been out of the ring for a little bit. I think once he calms down a little bit, those shots are going to start landing.
Halfway through the round, he started working behind the jab more and not just looking for the
big shot.
Monster overhand.
Out of the gate, he tried
down.
it. I think he wanted to see, hey, can I get this guy really quick?
Once, But again, you're in there with a guy with 26 professional fights. You know, chances of him crumbling with the first thing you touch him with.
James Perkins was capable of it, but it was just a size issue.
What was that fight at? 175? I can't believe this. Must have weighed him with rocks in his
Exactly,
box.
especially when you think he's 47 now. That, last year he fought at 75 or 68, perhaps.
And he doesn't look drawn down at 47 at all.
Referee Miss Kelly, a warning for holding. After the hold fest that was in an earlier heavyweight fight, you would think she would be almost proud that there was only 1 or 2 holds in this one. Got a lot, and early in that fight, I was watching it ringside, but
she got her money's worth separating those guys for 4 rounds.
Oh, and there it is.
There it is. He was looking for it the whole time.
He was looking for it for an entire round. Overhand right on the button.
3.5 minutes for him to find its mark.
He had all his power in that one. He threw his whole body. He smells blood. I think he wants a knockout. Pablo wisely holding on. Higgins may want to look for an uppercut. Throwing back. Look at that.
Good body work. I don't know how much is getting through.
But impressive. Trying to slow that Higgins train down. Don't be surprised if we look for the exact same punch. He threw it multiple times in the first round. Connected this round.
It's coming again. There it is. A little short.
He just needs to, instead of starting the party with that, he just needs to add it in combination. Pablo fighting back.
When Pablo's forced to fight, though, you know, he's returning.
There's a nice little lead left hook from Pablo. You know, those veteran tactics are just slowing you down, tying you up, the wrangling, the wiggling, you know, getting warnings made, let the ref talk to you. You're buying time when you do that. A lot of time, quite frankly.
Yeah.
That was a clean
right hand right down the chute.
There's a chant that we've heard before at the Castleton many a time in his many wars. Oddly enough, a MAGA chant as well, but I think this is more based on Mr. Higgins' name as opposed to any political statements. Oh, that was a nice right hook. Pablo's taking the shots pretty well, though, all things considered.
Since the knockdown, he's worn all these punches better.
Again, it's just that consistent thing we talked about in terms of Higgins sitting on the shot and turning the punch. Yeah, Pablo can make you look sloppy. I talked to Brendan Berry, who is here in attendance. We mentioned the great Brendan Berry from Maine, a veteran fighter. He said Pablo gave him a lot of trouble in the early rounds. He said very slippery and difficult, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that tonight against Brandon Higgins.
And I wonder, too, if Pablo looks at it like, I just took his best shot.
Yeah.
I'm okay now. And it seems like, at least in that round,
he answered back, but wow, that was quite a shot.
He was more willing to trade with
but Pablo did get up right away for whatever it was worth. He was backing up when the shot landed.
Yeah.
So. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight here. Combat Sports Now, Boston Boxing Promotions return to Melrose for Super Brawl. Coming up next, it's the big boys. It's the heavyweights. Andre Novinsky versus bare knuckle cult hero Bobo O'Bannon. And in our main event, local fighter Gerard Dagani makes his professional debut against Max Del Silva. But let's get back to Brandon Higgins and Pablo Ernesto. Pablo, very, very soft-spoken man, but career fighter with a 500 record, 13-13. I will say this, Kyle, especially that we're looking at a 6-round fight. I think Brandon Higgins needs a stoppage in this. I think there's a visual to him fighting a lesser fighter than his past fights that he needs to prove that I still got that pop.
Get him out of there.
Yeah,
yep.
that because he.
Good check hook.
Beautiful
like
check hook. You also wonder. I mean, we're only not even halfway through this fight. Can Pablo take this type of attrition for a complete 6 rounds? But again, because 6 rounds for Higgins is a walk in the park.
That's what I was going to say.
He's had 10-round fights.
You know Brandon's going to come forward and stalk you for the whole 6.
Yes.
All right. And those are the breaks you're talking about where, veteran guy milks 15 seconds off the clock with the ref involved.
Referee Marissa Kelly, queen of the Golden Gloves, was at the Golden Gloves last night. It's funny, when Pablo's in trouble, he fights back.
Yeah.
There's those flurries that he's known for.
Yep.
Oh, nice lead hook. He's had some success with that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice exchange from both fighters.
Was that a slip there? Brennan just got up and kept going. Both guys.
This has turned into a firefight.
Pablo's sneaking some in there with his back off the ropes.
Oh. Once again with that overhand right.
Yeah.
Credit to Pablo, though, for fighting back in the way that he is.
What's the timeout for?
Whoa.
I don't know.
That's a bizarre decision.
I feel like it should take a lot.
Is this not the same referee that just saw 5,000 holds in the heavyweight fight of the night and didn't take a single point away? I didn't feel that that's what was occurring when we saw that. In fact, I thought Pablo was fighting back.
Yeah.
There's going to be some element of holding when you have infighting like that. Pablo with a little headlock. Oh. Great action here to close out the round. Pablo with a couple additional blows at the end. I feel like that was unwarranted, Kyle. I don't think that point needed to go away right there.
I didn't see a stern
I didn't even see the dramatic
before that.
Yeah, I mean, she'd warned him once or twice, but I didn't see a dramatic hold situation.
No. Good body shot there. Good action there.
Absolutely tremendous action. Let's take a look at the replay. What would you like to see Kyle, what would you like to see Brandon do right now to put a more definitive edge on the performance we're watching?
I mean, he's living in his, he's living in his kitchen. He's fighting how Brandon always fights, I wonder if Brandon gave himself a half step back and wasn't smothering everything, if maybe he'd connect with one of those at the end of his punch and sit him down again, But I mean, I don't think Brandon's lost a round.
Oh, absolutely not. No. You'd like to see him turn on the gas. I guess he did in the last round. I mean, it was a bit of a firefight. They were going for it.
I mean, like you said, can Pablo take what Brandon's been dishing out
for another 3
rounds?
Yeah, and Pablo was really letting those shots go in the last round. I think we saw the best of them.
Yeah.
And again, it's similar to Brandon Berry, who Brandon Higgins has a big 10-round win against. Gorgeous little.
Yeah.
That was almost like it was a hook that he kind of drifted into an uppercut. Landed clean. Higgins known for putting that head down and just barreling forward. We're definitely seeing that tonight. guy's conditioning is incredible, Kyle, though. I mean, Brandon is well known for that, being able to do rounds and be there the whole time. I mean,
his work rate.
Yeah. The jump between 6 and 8 is what a lot of people say is the hardest jump. It's not so much the jump between 8 to 10.
Oh! I cannot believe he wore that well.
Whew. Man, once again with
Massive
that overhand right hand. That was, I mean, direct on the face, and Pablo fights back.
Yeah.
It's almost like when he gets hurt, he fights hard. Impressive chin on Pablo. Wow, that was a great, great shot. Another warning for Higgins.
Yeah.
We haven't necessarily seen those big Higgins on the ropes flurries. Pablo's been pretty effective, right here, tying him up when the ropes happen. He had a lot of success against Brendan Barry when he would get Barry on the ropes and just flurry out 6, 7, 8 shots to the body.
Yeah, it's like the only time you get offense out of Pablo is
when he catches a big shot.
Yeah. Like he's not going to bring any to Brandon, but he'll exchange it with him when it's getting rained down on him.
Those shots landed
Good
again.
body work.
There's sort of the Higgins that we were just talking about. And then Pablo answers back. Ooh. He's keeping this a really fun fight. That looked like he just caught him in that shot.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, great exchange. The last 20 seconds there, both guys landing meaningful blows.
Gray, what are you seeing so far in this fight?
Yeah, apologies. Took a bit of a break there. Thanks for bringing me back in, Chris. I've been sitting here on the side watching this fight, and I have to give Oliveto a lot of credit, man. He's taking a lot. He's digging in deep, and he was trading back at that last round. He's definitely in a hole right now with the knockdown and the point deduction. But credit to him for hanging in as
a lot people.
This right hand,
there was that shot. I mean, the shot that we just saw on the replay. Man, threw his head back over the ropes.
He's hanging in tough. I wasn't sure when this first fight was made if he could. I thought Brandon would maybe stop him in 3 to 4, but here he is in round 5 hanging in tough.
And I think a lot of people thought that. People thought that this would be a bounce-back knockout win for Higgins. And, again, he looks dominant. He's winning every single second of the fight for the most part. But the knockout has eluded him thus far, even though he's landed some very big shots.
I think it's certainly on the table for Brandon. I always say this in a lot of Brandon's fights. I think a big issue with him is that he sometimes smothers his offense.
Yeah.
Gets in too close. You mentioned that before. Yeah. And I think he needs to give himself a little bit of space.
And we got to give credit for something. Pablo just snuck in a sneaky little uppercut. Did anybody catch that while you're talking?
And he just
it's one of those shots that somebody deserves credit for,
And he lands another right hand there. So I mean, he's determined.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys that fly in from far away, like Pablo did, they're happy to take the paycheck. But he's definitely making Brandon earn it there tonight. Brandon brought out a lot of fans as usual. They're really enjoying him tonight.
Oh, nice. Again, that shot
Pablo's done some nice work off the ropes. I mean, I don't think he's
ever
strange
Brandon,
here. But
I think so far this is a Pablo round.
I agree.
I know it's only been 1 minute in, and that may be awkward to say. But
I think the first minute has been his.
Yeah.
I'm sure you said this on commentary already, but Pablo did have good moments against Brandon Barry in his last fight.
Yeah, we discussed that earlier, how Barry said that he was very difficult, very cagey, and Barry felt like he definitely dropped a couple of the first rounds. And so did the judges as well.
Makes a difference when he gets to fight somebody his size, frankly. I mean, when he fought James Perkins, he's just too small.
Right.
But, here he is trading with somebody who at least
he just landed an excellent combination, including another uppercut.
Uppercut and the left hook behind it.
I'm going to give him credit, too, because what Brandon Higgins does is he wears you down.
Yeah.
And he's at least hanging in there with Brandon. And, I mean, I can't imagine what it's like when Brandon's just leaning on you, using that power, just hitting you to the body, the ribs.
Yeah. Constant. Yeah.
But I'll give him.
He almost always wins the war of attrition. He tends to have trouble with boxers more than, if you want to stand toe-to-toe and just throw punches, you're going to have a very hard time beating Brandon Higgins.
Well, you look at, Chris Jacobs is a boxer. Harry boxed and used
his
every
first
inch
two
of the
losses,
ring in those fights.
Harry used
he's
parts of the
going
ring
into
that
fire.
night that didn't even exist.
Harry knew to move around that ring and certainly did. Yeah, Chris Jacobs' style, very hard to solve.
I think the closest he came to losing more of a firefight was the first fight with Dustin. Which was,
Agreed.
But Dustin's
a boxer too,
and he's got a lot of tricks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. Oliveto round.
Yeah.
Good body work from Brandon here to close it out.
Brandon might have a chance to steal it, but I think Oliveto personally has won this round. I don't know.
Listen, just because I'm partial to underdogs in general being one, I'm giving it to Oliveto. Give the man a round.
But he is, if
he won one, that was the one.
In the grand scheme, doesn't really matter.
And sometimes judges just get so caught up in the consistency of a fighter, it's hard for them to switch gears for one round.
The autopilot brain, I call it on Twitter.
Yeah. That was that.
We've seen a lot of that in professional boxing lately, unfortunately, Greg.
Sure.
Shout out to Jermaine Ortiz, New England fighter. Who is, in my humble opinion, Kyle, right now, New England should have a world champion in Jermaine Ortiz, and judges did not feel the same.
I agree.
Steve Not So Weisfeld with a very bizarre card. But we are here once again, the mecca of club boxing, New England. So many great promoters, so many great fights, including Boston Boxing Promotions. Once again, Peter Zimbor, president, Nick DeSalva, co-president, have put on just a tremendous card here. It's cold out, but they're keeping the shows coming. An exciting year planned for Boston Boxing Promotions with fights potentially all over the country, Gray, and an expansion year for Boston Boxing Promotions.
It's nice to see them branching out a bit from the Castleton, putting on some shows in Mass proper. I know a lot more shows this year. You never know where Boston Boxing Promotions might end up.
Yeah. And back to the action. I think Pablo is planning on finishing this fight. I think he's found a little bit of mojo. I mean, I think he knows he's not winning the fight, but he wants to go the distance. He's been stopped in his last two appearances here in New England. Wow.
I'm going to say this. He is coming at him.
Yeah. He just landed three straight punches.
I know it sounds crazy, but I honestly feel like from the moment Brandon floored him and Pablo got up and realized I'm okay, he's fought better from that moment on than he did before he got knocked down.
Oh, big. Once again,
hand.
There's that big shot.
That get in there?
Taking it. Well, I mean, it's as weird as it sounds, Gray, this is the best performance we've seen from Pablo. Even though Higgins has been dominant and is going to win a wide majority decision at this.
He is.
Unanimous decision.
It will be unanimous for sure. But, I mean, Pablo is – this is the best I've definitely seen him perform. Yeah. So credit to him. I think Brandon can look back on this and see what he's got to work on. Again, I think it's the smothering of the offense.
Crafty veteran, the smothering.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've talked about this a lot. I've had the pleasure of calling several Brandon Higgins fights, and I am a big fan of his fighting style.
Oh,
he is. Just that gorgeous.
Very friendly.
Do you see him just double up the hook to the body, to the head? Just gorgeous, but he has never really fallen in love with the jab. And I think that could be that one element of the game if he could just work in off the jab. He just loves coming in with those overhands, loves coming in with those hooks, getting close and going to work. But
when you fight this man, he's going to eat you. He's going to try and eat you up on the inside. You're going to have a long night. And, I think Pablo is going to feel it in the morning for sure.
Higgins is a great fighter, and I really do want to see him have an opportunity at the national level.
Pablo's starting to hit the wall a little bit.
He eats another one there for Brandon Higgins. Nice, snuck one in there.
Now, if Higgins could somehow close this out in the last minute, what a feather in his cap.
Pablo is in holding mode at this point.
I think this would be Brandon's shot where he might look for the exit sign.
I think he has a chance here to put another knockdown. I think he's going to try and finish it. He's got 40 seconds.
The crowd is pumped up. They want a Higgins stoppage.
Want to see him finish this.
And I know Higgins does too.
And he's hitting
Pablo
with the body.
Is exhausted.
Yeah.
And that's what we said. It's just Brandon just breaks you down. He could do this pace for
10 rounds
for 2 days. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's Brandon Higgins could do 10 rounds, absolutely no problem.
Yeah, and he has. We've seen him do 10 rounds. Yeah.
and he looked the fresher of the two against Kenny Larson at the end.
Yeah. Good opportunity for him to get in the ring, get some rounds. As much as maybe everybody, the crowd, even us, wanted to see a stoppage, you know what he benefits from? That was a nice one, too.
Yeah.
He benefits from the rounds. You know, he benefits from more professional experience. Great fighter, ambassador to the sport, good guy, always kind to the fans and the kids, and very easy to root for.
I think a very clear, wide, unanimous decision win. 59-53 on the unofficial scorecard with a knockdown and the holding deduction. I gave Pablo round 5, but other than that, it was a Brandon Higgins
I'd
night.
like to see Pablo have that round. Yeah, I hope the judges get one.
I don't know. We've seen some wacky scorecards tonight, especially from one Joe.
Pablo seems very excited that he went the distance. He looks like he's talking to somebody on FaceTime, and good for him.
May not be the last time we see a FaceTime in the corner tonight.
Yeah.
But if you want to know who brought the fans, I think it was Brandon Higgins.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like you said, Brandon had more time off than usual, I think, over the last, at least like his normal schedule over the last few years. And, I mean, he came in and did his thing. He
got some good rounds in.
Yeah.
You know, the question then becomes, what's the next move? Does he yet again fight another equal local fighter, local pro spot, and have a battle like he often does, comes up winning sometimes, loses every once in a while? Or does he try and take an opportunity on the national level? Or does he get another fight like this in to essentially build that record just a little more? Because this is his 15th professional fight. That's no joke. He's crossed into a world that, it's completely appropriate for him to have some national fights.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I say national,
like
I mean with a large promoter.
Some of the guys he's fought against have had those opportunities.
Yeah. It reminds me of a fighter that I know you guys are familiar with, a very good friend of mine, Francisco Santana.
Oh yes, Chia.
Because he was during his career always in great shape and pulled off some huge upsets simply by outworking guys, not being better, but just I'm going to be there for 10 rounds, throwing more than you. And you get a boxer that's kind of pulling back and not letting a lot of shots go. You can steal rounds,
right? And Chia and Brandon share a common opponent in Dustin Reinhold.
6 hard-fought rounds tonight in Melrose, Massachusetts. After 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges Joe Appice and Ken Bolovic scored the fight 59-53. Jackie Morrell scored the fight 59-54. For your winner, the unanimous decision. They call him the Fighting Pride of Chelmsford, Massachusetts.
Excellent.
2 judges had it the same as my unofficial scorecard, 59-53. I guess Jackie Morrell either did not decide a knockdown mattered or blew off a point deduction.
I was going to say she had to blow off that point deduction, right?
Jackie had been in the beer line with me. In the fight.
Like I said, I find the judging to be random at best tonight. But right guy won, and good for Pablo getting the round. Good for Pablo getting the round. They did all correctly see that round. Great night for Brandon Higgins. Fans in the house, another great performance. And he's talking to promoter Peter Zimbor right now, and hopefully they're talking about the next move. I'd love to see him on Boxing Promotions' next card.
Absolutely.
He's just great to see. Always brings great fans. Good guy, good energy.
I want to see him.
There's never a boring Brandon Higgins
I don't mind I don't really care who he fights. He's always exciting.
Always exciting.
He gives it his all, and he brings a great fan base.
And he's just right on that edge of the breakthrough fight. He's had a lot of experience, good and bad, and I think he's one fight away from really having an opportunity for the door to open up.
I think a lot of guys underestimate him too because he has 4 losses, but I'll tell you, he could be a handful.